Greetings. Salute to the soldiers that's on the front line. See, one thing about living in this world, on this planet, you're always on the front line. No matter if it's pandemic or what. You could be walking out the house, catch a stray bullet. If you could be driving down the highway and get hit by a drunk driver. Or a woman could be, a young girl could be walking down the street and get abducted. You're always on the front line. You always got to be on your P's and Q's. You always got to be alert. Living in this world. That's why we call it hell. Just because you got a lot of money, all the wealth in the world, don't mean that you're living in heaven. Because you're always scheming and dreaming to keep that money so you could have all the luxuries that you feel like you need and deserve, but always stepping on your fellow brother to get there. So we're going to go back to the root of who we are, to our culture. And Alex Jones and T.I. chopping it up. And it dawned on me, this is the key time to show you, straight from the horse's mouth, how the Caucasian is different from us. We're not the same. And it's done through experimental. Like he mentions how we are affected. The black man is more affected than anyone in this environment, in this culture. So that shows you that we're not the same. When we were brought over here from Africa, we left our culture, our environment, came over here. We still was over here all along, but our environment changed when the Caucasian came. I'm gonna point out what I'm talking about.
Is up over 3,000%, and it was incredibly rare everywhere until glyphosate was put out there. And now we know, and they found in court, and they found scientifically that they knew that glyphosate from that big company was giving people cancer. I was covering it 25 years ago and getting threatened to shut up. I didn't shut up. I had the scientist on. It grows prostate cancer. It grows
3G and 5G.
And glyphosate, all of it. And so
And where do you find glyphosate?
It's in every water table in the Western world.
Every water table?
It's in the water. It's in the aquifer.
It's like fluoride.
Okay. Fluoride was used in the Soviet Union in the water supply at forced labor camps to make people docile and infertile.
All right.
When the Nazis and the Russians at the start of World War II were allies, they divided Poland. This is all in Pulitzer Prize-winning books. Stalin gave Hitler the fluoride system to suppress people. Then in 1949, they start putting it in our water. There's thousands of studies it lowers IQ. There are thousands of studies it reduces fertility. And I'm not saying this because you're an African American. I have had all the scientists on, top toxicologists.
I want you to say it.
They said, for whatever reason, fluoride hurts women about 3 times less than men because of women's blood-brain barrier. It hurts men 3 times more, and then it hurts black men twice what it hurts any other man genetically. So,
why does it hurt black men more genetically?
That is on average, and that's in Harvard studies.
I mean, but is there a reason why?
That's in JAMA studies. You just type in fluoride hurts blacks more than any other group, and men particularly. And it deals with some type of issue with the blood-brain barrier. And of course, that's all averages. Everybody's pretty close, but there's different averages and this and that. And if you just look it up, you want to know what's really hitting black people.
Tell me.
Fluoride on any male that drinks it lowers IQ massively.
Any male?
Any male.
Not female?
Women, not as much.
Okay.
Because their blood-brain barrier, because they've got to be able to carry a child, they've got a much stronger blood-brain barrier.
Gotcha.
A woman's got to be able to have a baby with a different blood type that pees in her.
Right.
And sometimes craps in her.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it's.
I mean, over the course of 9 months, I'm sure he craps in her quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, this really goes on. I'm not putting babies down. I'm saying women. Any doctor will tell you women aren't tougher in a fist fight, but women, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, starving, any poison.
Right.
It takes more poison to kill a woman.
Right.
So women are, as babies, are tougher.
Okay.
And so
I have daughters and sons, so I know the difference in female evolution versus male evolution. My daughters, they talked sooner, they walked sooner, they were potty trained sooner. Now, once they get to be about, I say 7, 8, you know what I mean? It kind of balances out a little bit, you know what I mean?
But if they're a boy, you sure as hell don't want to give them to them because.
But how can you not give it to them if that's the water that's coming out of your?
You've got to filter it, and it's got to be the proper type. But I swear to God, we consider talking about white.
Speaking of babies.
Yeah. Speaking
of babies, this is something that's very, very near and dear to me and my concerns and things that I am very, very, very passionate about. Vaccinations.
Oh. Okay.
Vaccinations. What's with vaccinations?
Okay. I believe, and the science is real. They always say, oh, you don't believe in science. Going back 600 years ago in England, they learned how if a cow had smallpox, you wanted to give it to your kids when they were healthy instead of when they were sick. Because if your kids already had the flu or cold and got it, it'd kill them. But if you gave them smallpox on a toothpick,
sure,
they'd poke the pus and they'd stick it in your arm, and you get a scar, but most of the time you live. You only die like 3% of the time.
What?
Yeah, now.
I don't want my baby having nothing to cause him to die 1% of the time.
No, I agree.
Why in the fuck would you do that?
I'm not defending it. I'm the guy that they try to ban for saying this. The inserts on vaccines say they don't protect you, and they say they can kill you. Not the fact sheet.
What the fuck?
You've got to act for the insert that comes in the package. I'm getting chills. It's so important. My mom.
Now, I want to say this right quick before we close this one down. As far as the water, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to have, my uncle used to take the family to get mineral water. I forget where we was at, somewhere in Michigan, north I think. We would go and get mineral water, pure water from the spring, or you get spring water. Take big jugs, and I think he had to pay for it. Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to say, boil your water. And then years later, here in Detroit, a brother named Kalinde Aye was helping all the brothers to that fluoride in the water. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was wanting to build, before he passed away, was wanting to build a black hospital. Because all our women trusted the Caucasian hospital. The black man is the one that taught the Caucasian medicine in recent times. Because he had a lot of diseases. This is during the Dark Age, when he was thinking the world was flat. So, our culture, the witch doctors, they knew how to heal you. For thousands of years, of black men been on the planet. If he didn't know nothing about medicine and herbs and stuff like that, we would have been, and when we caught something, like say the coronavirus, which is man-made, if it wasn't man-made, and we caught it, we wouldn't know how to cure it. We would all be extinct by now. Common sense tell you that. Or mother wit. I rather call it mother wit because common sense ain't so common no more. So we're gonna get on out of here. We might come back with a part 2. Bottom line is, we lost our culture. We had the know-how of everything you could think of. Came over here, all of a sudden it wasn't good enough no more for us. So now we letting a caveman kill us off and school us. Think about it, Black Light.